Hello and welcome to episode 252 of the Veeam Community Recap. I am Rick Van over the Rickatron, and I can't believe it. We are both in normal circumstances. I got my normal co-host back. She wasn't feeling so good last week. Maddie, how you doing this week?
Hello, Rick, and hello, community. Yeah, I'm glad that I am back. I was supposed to be in Lisbon as we talked previously, but it didn't happen. I got sick, so I had to be at home and we didn't do a recap together. But I saw you had a lot of fun with Sophia as well, so that's always great.
Yeah, it's fun. We did have fun because I kept like, oh, this is how we're gonna do it, but then I would do it something different. So it was on me. I don't know. I'm just so comfortable with you when we do this show, and so we've got a good flow. We don't even have to prep, and trust me, we don't. So I say we jump right into it, Maddie. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it. I think we have some great content this week again. So
Again,
thank
all
you, community.
indeed. It starts as a question, but it ends up being an awesome topic here. What caught your eye on this great title here by Scott?
Yeah, this is a really interesting article. I can see now he put it as a question, as you said. I have to
Yeah.
change that because it's not a question. But yeah, anyway, this is a really great topic. So basically, what Scott is doing in here, he kind of skips the usual architecture talk. He's not doing a deep dive into the backup strategies or replication theory. And instead, what he's doing is focusing on, the operational details that determine whether recovery is smooth or chaotic for you. And what do you do when the reality hits at 4 a.m.? That's the question, basically. So it's essentially a checklist of the small, the unglamorous practices that turn DR from theory to execution. And you have the list. I'm not going to go through everything, but I think it's a fantastic list in there of things that you can prepare. um, but where I think the value sits in this article is in this: DR failures are rarely about missing backups, they're about missing clarity. And I think he has a great point with that because, at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. or whatever, nobody performs at peak engineering brilliance. So you perform based on a muscle memory, documentation quality, and how much cognitive load you've eliminated in advance. And the point about backing up your backup infrastructure hits especially hard. And a lot of teams, assume they could rebuild their backup server, but very few actually simulated a full rebuild from scratch. So, the communication section is fantastic in there. Technical recovery, as Scott says, is just half of the job, and the other half is controlling chaos through actually structured updates. So I think this is a really good piece of content. Thank you, Scott, for that.
This is great. It captures so many cool things, and it actually hit on one of my personal hot button topics. And I didn't draw all over it yet because I want to do it now. Label the cables. Oh my goodness, Scott. Thank you. And this is really, especially those of you out there that are practicing IT folks, this is a really good one that it's worth paying the money to a vendor to do that because if I printed it out and like taped it up, that's not going to be so good. Get those really good professional service type things that label and then do one better, especially if you have different colors for different things. So Scott has these types of things. I would also, yeah, I'm thinking like DRAC and ILO ports here have a different color than those other ones. Little things like that, and then maybe a different speed cable has yet another different color. That type of stuff, especially if you're walking someone through on the phone, super, super helpful. All of this, absolute gold. Maddie, this is my top pick for the week. I love it.
Yep, you already said it.
Yeah, there we go. All right, next up is Michael Melter, German M&M, talking about Veeam V13 self-paced training at Veeam University. This is cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna appreciate the M&M thing. But yeah, Michael gives us an update on the Veeam One Essentials course on Veeam University after he completes the first four of the 12 modules. And the course positions itself clearly. It's an entry level foundational training for people who are either new to Veeam One or want more structured fundamentals. And Michael Melter tells us that The first modules focus on installation, setup in a practical step-by-step format, core monitoring capabilities and initial configuration, alarm configuration and smarter alert grouping, and then looks deep at the business view, especially importing classifications via CSV and leveraging vSphere tags. So that's pretty cool. And then Michael discusses how the course is very hands-on, avoids heavy slide decks, and walks learner through real configuration steps rather than abstract theory, which is all great. Good feedback in here. And this is designed to build operational confidence more than architectural depth. It also seems like Michael has one critique in there after he did these 4 modules. He says eventually you want to see more why behind the how. But he says, for a foundation, this seems to work just fine. So thank you, Michael, for putting this together. I think it's very helpful, from time to time to have this kind of feedback, and also for our university team that is doing the content. So good stuff. Thank you, Michael.
And it looks like it might even be a series. He says, look out for more. So I like that as well.
I'm sure it will. He only covered 4.
There you go. Thank you, Michael, and hope to feature one of your future topics here. All right, next up. This is actually really cool. Maybe I'm really excited. I don't know what's going on. I'm in a weird mood today. But I really like this one from Link State because he's talking about something we don't talk about that often, much like Scott got me worked up as well. Link State is talking about Pulse step-by-step stuff. And this is actually something we don't talk a lot about. But Maddie, this is really cool stuff.
Yeah, very practical as well. It's just like, as you said, this is not something that we cover too often in here. But yeah, basically it's a very practical situation here, hitting the error that legacy format rental licenses are not supported when deploying a Veeam software appliance. Let's put it that way. Licensing isn't exciting until it blocks a deployment. Mm-hmm. So then you have a problem. So in this case, the root cause isn't a technical misconfiguration, it's a license format mismatch. And then Link State Luca is taking us through the solution. And he says is to move to modern license management through Veeam Pulse, accessed via the Veeam Pro Partner Portal.
Well, it's a mouthful.
Veeam Pro Partner Portal. That's difficult to say. I just realized.
It is.
So yeah. And then the workflow that he's talking about is a clean, centralized one. And he says he's explaining it in there. He put some good print screens. And he said, hey, log into Pulse via the VCSP section, navigate the software licenses, request a new license, assign or create a customer, select the correct product and subscription parameters, define quantity and resource type, submit, download, and install. So basically, it's pretty straightforward, really simple. And the installation happens directly through the Veeam software appliance web console. The system immediately validates and synchronizes. So it's really simple. And yeah, as you said, Link put it here, step guide, how to do it, how to modernize the licensing, and basically you resolve a compatibility issue between the legacy rental formats and the newer product deployment. So thank you for that. As you said, we are not talking a lot. It's really straightforward and it can save you some time.
Absolutely. And I love that, we're talking about the Veeam software appliance and some of the newer technologies on 13. So Luca P, this is fantastic stuff. Had a chance to talk with him about something else that we're working on, and he's a very smart practitioner. So Luca, hopefully I'll have some updates for you on that other thing, but thank you for sharing this post.
Okay.
All right, that concludes our featured content, but I still got many tabs and a PowerPoint slide open. Let's go to Vanguard Blog Spotlight, and Ben Harmer has a really cool tool. I've not heard of this one, but reading through this, it looks pretty legit.
It's a long one again, but Ben, cool job in here. Really like it. This is one of those, you mentioned it earlier in one of the other articles, but small change, big impact. So he's talking about a very real scenario. Backups don't always succeed, especially large, constantly changing environments, and troubleshooting is basically part of your job. And it opens with the relatable situation. Pretty cool print screen or picture, that one with Morpheus there. Not that one, the other one, but
No, I know
okay.
that, but now I'm like, this is where a lot of people are starting, and this is not a good way to read this stuff.
True. Error messages sometimes lack context. So you do what every admin eventually has to do, dive into the logs, whatever you were showing. And traditionally, that means basically opening a massive log files in Notepad, right? So that's scrolling endlessly through walls of text. You don't want that. So Ben proposes a smarter approach using Sublime Text with the Veeam Logs helper package to analyze Veeam Logs more effectively. And he's also taking us through how to install it and how to add it. And you have all the steps in there with print screens as well. So I'm not going to go over all that. But the big value add is improved readability. Timestamps and Veeam specific keywords are color coded, making error identification much easier. And Ben says Sublime Text is a great troubleshooting tool, not a replacement for support, of course, but a really strong complement. So, really like this one. Great job as always, Ben. It feels like I always pick your articles for VBS.
Well, no, this is a fantastic tool. I mean, I'm going to relay this one over to our support tools. Even, I'm sure we have our own little things, but like if they're looking at log systems, yeah, like look at that, that's beautiful. Love it, love it. Gives it, like I said, this is a good example. Gives you a really good way to visualize, and this is probably my best part, Maddie. Sorry, bad with my zoom in here. You can see there's one error right here, but then the block right here, you can see the whole file kind of in a linear view. So, I mean, this is just legit. Ben, rock on. Good stuff. Thank you.
Totally. Thank you, Ben.
And you know what? I liked it so much. I even have his main tab open. And by the way, it looks like Vanguard renewal. No, that's from last time. But anyways, nonetheless, keep it up. I have a random tab. But now let's go over to special department news. And I've translated this one to English, but VUG Ecuador is up with another online event.
Yeah, totally. I mean, first of all, I just want to say welcome to the leadership to Chris, because he's a new leader together with Roberto. And I think the two of them, they gonna have a very strong leadership, and they're gonna do fantastic jobs in Ecuador. Most probably you're gonna meet them both at the Veeam tour this year.
Oh, that's right. I'll be there. Sophia and I both will be in Ecuador this year.
Yeah, so you're going to have the opportunity to meet both of them. They are great. As I said, this is Chris' first event as a leader, and I think they selected a great topic in here. We have a practical community meetup discussing the most dangerous Veeam data platform mistakes and how to turn them into a resilient ransomware-ready architecture. I think this is something that we don't necessarily talk that much, so I think this is fantastic. I'm not sure if it translates correctly. Best practices in Veeam data platform. I don't think it translates correctly, really, because I think the title was Los Peores, the worst.
Well, yeah, it's the worst.
Las peores prácticas, the worst practices, and it translates with the best.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, we're going to point you the right way.
Yeah, but I think this is going to be good. Chris is a very technical guy. Stephen Triana, who is a system engineer there, helped us also bring Chris on board. So that's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to everything that these guys are going to be able to do this year.
All right. Yeah, I look forward to meeting you both, Christian and Roberto, at the Veeam.
I didn't say when this is happening.
Oh, it's right here on Wednesday.
March 18th.
Yeah. So we got.
Yeah. So you have time to register still, plenty.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And same day, later in the day, VUG Panama. I've also translated this one to English. I do expect it to be in Espanol as well. Austin, our SC, as well as Arnulfo, the Panama leader.
Yeah, it's also like his first virtual event. Also, Arnulfo just took the leadership for VUG Panama, so thank you for that. It's pretty cool. He, as you said, he will be joined by Austin, and they will discuss all things V13. This is pretty um, standard, but I think it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be in Spanish. They're gonna have some tips and tricks and what's new with it. So I think it's gonna be an interesting session, different than the Ecuador one. Same day as you said, the 18th. So you can definitely join both. They're gonna be both in Spanish.
That's right. Awesome. Fantastic stuff. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Arnolfo. And still 2 weeks or so, almost 2 weeks for those to join. So check it out. All right. Another virtual event. Now, I really like this one. This one's going to be from the cybersecurity space. We got Lucas K, we got Shalid, and we got Edwin talking about Cove. What? Again, something we don't talk a lot about. That's like our theme today, Maddie. I love this topic for this cybersecurity space virtual event.
Totally. Yeah. And even though Chalit has been for a while with us and he's in the Legends program in the Veeam 100, this is actually the first time he's organizing a virtual event, an event for cybersecurity as a leader. So, really looking forward to this one. And I think it's going to be an impressive discussion in here. And as you said, Coveware is not that a topic that we discuss a lot at the community hub. So, looking forward to it. And you guys have time to join. This is going to be, I think, the 19th, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit later in the day than the other ones, but pretty cool stuff. And we are going to be consistent, hopefully, this year with cybersecurity space events. So, good stuff.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you, Khalid, for leading, and Lucas K. And Edwin has a specialization in security. So this is going to be a great topic. If I wasn't doing like 35 other things this day, I would join it. But just like all of the online events, they will be on the Veeam YouTube for replay. So that's a good call to action if you can't make it all. Speaking of making it all, one more from the Veeam Cloud Service Provider Group for SARC, which is in the Indian Ocean region. The new series, Backup to Resilience series. This is pretty interesting.
That's an initiative of Jigar, who is one of the systems engineers in India. And this is going to be every month. It's going to be a short one, I believe. It's going to be probably 20 to 30 minutes every third Friday of the month. He's going to host it on Teams for logistics reasons. The first session introduces, the initiative. He's going to discuss about that, previews V13, and helps you navigate Veeam's knowledge resources. And this is basically for everyone, but he wanted to dedicate it to VCSP's professionals, focused on best practices, new feature, real world backup excellence. But I think it's going to be a show good for everyone else. So if you want to join, and it's going to be in English, so it's good basically for everyone that would like to hear more, to learn more, to understand more. So good job. Thank you for this initiative, Jigar. Looking forward to see the first show.
Yeah, indeed. It'll be Friday, March 20th. So a little bit about 2 weeks up, scheduled for just an hour, maybe less, on Teams. Very accessible, good stuff. Thank you for that. Oh, let's breathe. Wow, that was a lot, Maddie. But you know what? We're not done. We got a big milestone. And even when you're sick and getting ready for a trip, you pushed out the first half of Legends for 2026. This is fantastic.
Yeah, so I definitely want to give a big shout out to all our legends. It's honestly great to see, the program growing in a steady, healthy way. We haven't added too many people. We are all quality over quantity. I think we have in total 20 right now, and we only added one, and one legend went to Vanguard. So really want to congratulate everyone and your contribution to the community hub, to the R&D forums, to our VUG leaders. Veeam 100 shows, wherever you participate in, is really valuable to us, and I really want to highlight how much we appreciate as a team, as community, as product strategy, and as a company, all that you are doing. So
Indeed. I mean, the legends, the vanguards, the Veeam MVPs, the collective Veeam 100 programs are truly an incredible group of folks. Love the expertise. I'll be the first to tell you, Maddie, everyone on this list knows these products better than I do, which is amazing. And I love, cycling with them in terms of working on content, working on initiatives. Thank you all. Welcome to the Legend program. Each of you, some of new, some returning, some with different programs. Really great stuff. All right, last piece of special department news. Who's new? Thank you, Sophia, for prepping the Who's New for this week. Crazy stuff. I love 132, good, solid, steady growth. Coolest usernames are Galaxy Justin, Tech Envy, Tall Guy, Cloud Backup Guy. I think I know who that one is. And Alfred's pick, John Wick. That rhymes, but that's also a movie. So that's funny.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah. So big welcome, everyone. I love seeing the new folks roll in. So we've got it's just incredible growth. It does fantastic. And then next week we have something up our sleeve.
We do.
We might skip. I don't know. We got a busy week.
Yeah. Who knows? Depending on the schedule, right?
We might skip the video. We might just do a post. Sometimes when we get busy, because we have a whole team meeting out in Seattle next week. Maddie will be there, Sophia, Nikki, everyone will be there. And so we just might be able to only do a post. Sorry, got something in my eye. I got long eyelashes. Like I went to one of those fancy makeup stores getting something for my wife. And they're like, what a waste, those big long eyelashes on a guy, and they get in the way for everything.
Yeah, but isn't that a little bit rude to say? It's just like, what do you mean it's a waste?
You know what? They bug me because they're like windshield wipers on my glasses all day. It's crazy. Yeah. I've really derailed this conversation. Maddie, thank you so much for prepping the content here for episode 251.
As always, my pleasure, Rick.
All right, we will see what happens next week. We'll give you something. It might not be a video, but we will always have the community covered here. But other than that, we will see you next time on the recap.